Today also I'm doing a tier list on the episodes from The Legend of Korra. As promised, I actually found a new presentation mode here in the tier maker, which will make it much easier to put this together and have a good looking thing. So I'll go through these. I liked this show, but not as much as I loved Avatar: The Last Airbender, so I'm not sure we'll get quite as many S tier episodes. So, first one, Welcome to Republic City. Crap, I almost just played that. Okay. All right, Welcome to Republic City. That one, I'd say, it was a lot of fun. It was a great opening. It's a new world, and we have different problems this time, but it's still a bit of a rehash. You've got an avatar who has problems, who has to learn one of the elements, except it's air this time. So I'll put this one to A tier. Like it's good, but it's not the best. A Leaf in the Wind. So here's where Korra has troubles, but she still makes it out to or why is this like or wait a minute. Wait just a minute. This tier list is all screwed up. It's not in order. So I need 1-1. Here's Welcome to Republic City. Then we have Leaf in the Wind. That's a lot of fun because she's sort of like spinning around, and she's starting to learn new skills and to be patient. She gets to go to the pro bending arena, which was a lot of fun to watch. So I think I'll put this one to A as well. It was a good episode. Then we get to the revelation where we meet. Oh, this is where we meet Amon and we find out he can take away people's bending. That was amazing. So I'm gonna put this one to S tier. That was really scary, really great new villain. Taking Aang's best power and making it a problem. Then we get to the voice in the night. Let's see. I forget what happens in that one. I know that's where we have problems with Tarlok. Oh yeah, this is where like Korra tries to confront Amon. That was really scary. I think it's a good lesson for Korra that she can't just face every single problem head on. So I'll put this one to A tier as well. Then we get to 1-5, which is Spirit of Competition. Oh, this is a lot of fun because we get to see a lot of pro bending. Um, but they have their romantic rivalries, which really just screws them over. Oh no, I'm not one for romance that much, so I'll put this one into B tier and all that drama. Then we get to the final pro bending match. Oh, this is totally S tier. Amon crashes the party. We get to see the pro bending winner happen, the champions. That was just overall an amazing episode. S tier all the way. Then we get to 1-7, the aftermath. So that's what happens afterwards. Oh, this is where we find what's his name? Asami's dad is working for the Equalists. That was a lot of fun to watch. And a big plot twist. So this one, another S tier. Then we get to When Extremes Meet. Oh, this is where we get the problem with Tarlok. And I believe that's where he sort of kidnaps her, takes her away. That one was a lot of fun to watch. Or he kidnaps her at the end, but just saying like the Tarlok is just a big power hungry politician, that was a lot of fun just to see. And now we have like two villains and they're on different sides, so it's kind of fun to watch. A tier. Then we get to Korra, Out of the Past. So I know there Korra gets out and she meets Avatar Aang. That's a lot of fun. I'd say pretty good episode. A tier. Then we get to Turning the Tides. Oh, here's where the Equalists attack. That was really interesting to watch because they've really just taken over. So I'd say probably another A tier episode just to see that. Skeletons in the Closet. Ooh, that's where we get Tarlok's and Amon's backstory. That one was a lot of fun to watch. Like I'd say it's just a lot of plot building and world building, so it doesn't take the plot anywhere. But I'd say it was fun just to see what happened. I'll put it in B tier just because we don't get to see much happen, and it's a lead up to the final episode. But then we get to final episode Endgame. We beat Amon. Korra learns airbending. She meets Aang, and she can give everyone their bending back. Really an amazing ending to the first season. Pretty good. I'd say this show isn't quite as good as Avatar, but it's still a lot of fun. Then we get to the Spirits book. This one gave me nightmares as a kid, just because of like the big red guy who's crazy. But it was a lot of fun to watch. So we've got Rebel Spirit, so they're at the Water Tribe Festival in the south. This one, I didn't love this opening. Sure, they meet the evil spirits. They're in the south. They meet Unalaq, but it's a mediocre start. So I'm gonna give it a C tier. Then we get to the Southern Lights. That's where they go to the South Pole. That was a lot of fun to watch. Korra, I think she actually opens the portal, and we know that's a bit of a problem, but we don't realize it's a problem yet. But that was really amazing that she got through the dark spirits, but it's really also sad that she got tricked by Unalaq. So I'm going to give it A tier. Alright, next up we get to Civil War Part 1 and 2. So in the first part, the North seems to invade the South. Again, no one really likes invasions, so I'd say that's a B tier episode. It was sad to watch, but not super interesting. Then we get to Civil Wars Part 2. Um, so in that episode, we know that, let's see, Korra's parents are arrested. Yeah, so Korra's parents are arrested. Again, not super interesting, not super memorable. So I'll put it into B tier again. But overall, not too bad. Alright, and we know that Unalaq is sort of like a big bad guy now. We're building him up. Then we see the Republic president isn't going to help Korra, so she has to sort of take care of it herself, and she has to take care of it herself, but that doesn't work too well. She gets like sort of eaten by a spirit. Well, not eaten, but some stuff happens, and that was a really suspenseful ending. So I'd say it's an A tier episode. Pretty good. Then we get on to the Sting. Um, so that's where we find out about what's his name? Well, the business guy. His big conspiracy to put future industries out of business. I think to steal their stuff. That was kind of funny to watch. And also I forget what is that guy's name. Varric. Varric. He is just such a fun character. So this will go into A tier too. Then we get to beginnings, part 1 and 2. That's 7 and 8. Oh, that's where we get to learn about the start of the whole Avatar sequence. It doesn't advance the plot anywhere, but we do get to learn about a lot of stuff that happened. So that was a lot of fun to watch. So I'll say A tier for both of them, since we just get to see what happened. We learn about Vatu and Rava, and all of the problems that are going to be coming, and also about the 1 in 10,000 year thing that's about to happen. Okay, so then, Korra asks Tenzin for help getting into the spirit world. That's in episode 9. And we know that Tenzin had a lot of trouble getting in. And then we find out that I think Jinora is actually the spirit lady, and she helps him get in. And it's fun seeing that the little kid is able to do a lot too. So definitely an S tier episode. Then we get to a new spiritual age. It's a bit of trouble between the Avatar and the spirits. Where is that? I believe that's 210. Here we go. I think oh yeah, and that was really crazy. She tries to close the portal, but then, oh yeah, Unalaq threatens Janora's life, so she's forced to open both portals, which is going to be a problem. So that was really fun episode. Um, I'll put it into A tier. All right, then we get to Night of 1,000 Stars. Oh yeah, so Bolin saves the day from Varric. That was a lot of fun to watch. Um, yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'd say nothing super interesting happened there, but Varric gets outed, which was finally. So I'll put that into A tier here. Then we get to Harmonic Convergence. Oh, this is where the nightmares start. Um, so the Southern Rebels get defeated. Unalaq wins in the South for the North, it seems, and they try to close the Spirit Portal, but I believe at the end of the episode, it fails. So really great setup for the final 2 episodes. Then we get to the big battle between good and evil. I feel like we've seen a lot of these. I don't like how we get a new villain every season, but in this series, but it's still pretty fun. This guy gave me nightmares. Unavatu. So I'm going to put both 13 and 14, since 14 is Light in the Dark. Actually, I'll put 13 into A, and I'll put Light in the Dark into S, just because it's a really great ending to another season, and Jinora also sort of saves the day again. Alright, next up, that takes us to Book 3, Change. I really liked I really liked this season. It was a lot of fun. The first episode, we have, oh yeah, people are learning to airbend right out of nowhere. That is a really great gimmick, a really great plot twist for this series. I really liked seeing that, so it was a lot of fun. Also, it can help bring back the air nomads. So then we get Rebirth, and they're trying to recruit the new airbenders. That was really great to see, and it's also fun to see that, like, not everyone is just the same superheroes we see every day. A lot of these are just normal people who like have lives and don't want that to change. So I think that's really great, a really great message. So I'll put this one to S tier too. That was a lot of fun to watch. When I get to the Earth Queen, oh that lady really annoyed me. I'm gonna have to put this one into B tier just because like she's not that helpful and we find out that she's like hiding kids in her basement to become an Earthbender army. So that's gonna have to become a B tier episode. And then you get to In Harm's Way. Oh yeah, so we find out that all the airbenders are imprisoned. It's awesome that they're able to break them out and get them out of there. And they get a lot of airbenders on their side, but it's also just very yeah, it's more of what we saw in the previous episode. So I'll put it into B with that one. Then we get to the Metal Clan. So here's sort of where we start to see Zahir and all his acolytes going crazy, and it's a really great like villain to be setting up, and they're kind of scary. But once we get to the Metal Clan, I think it's really insightful that the safest city in the world can be infiltrated. We get to meet, I think Lynn's sister. That was fun to see, and how they sort of still hate each other, and they don't never really ever entirely get over that. So really S tier for world building. I really liked that episode. Then we get to Old Wounds. Again, that's more of okay, so there's still in Zaofu a little bit more here. That's really more of the I think Zahir's going to infiltrate too, but we get to see the problems between Lynn and her sister. So again, I think it's more of stuff happening in the past. I'll put it into A tier since it's also really good. I know I'm probably being super inconsistent with this, but it's my ranking, so I can do what I want. Then we get to episode 7, Original Airbenders. Oh yeah, so Tenzin is not the best teacher. It's kind of funny to watch. And I think it's a bit of a humbling experience for him. But I'd say it's a fun episode, but not my favorite. I'll put it into B tier. Nope, not C, B. Okay. Then that brings us to the Terror Within. Okay, so then that gives us. Oh yeah. So this is where Zahir gets into the city, and they get in with the help of the truth-telling advisor. That was a really great gimmick. That he was a bad guy. I did not see that coming. I'm glad they stopped him, but that was a lot of fun to watch. So I will S tier that one. Then we get to the stakeout where, oh, Korra gets to meet Zahir after they track down the guy. Oh, and he gets thrown into the void. That was really interesting because we get to see their motivation. And yeah, I think that was just a lot of fun to see how what Zahir's motivations are and how he wants just absolute chaos. So it really built him as a villain. I'll put it into A tier since there's not that much action, but it's really great plot building. Then we get to Long Live the Queen. Oh, this was an amazing episode. Here, infiltrating the capital and then just killing the Earth Queen. Yeah, that was amazing. And then Korra gets captured, but I think she's being taken to the Air Queen instead of to Zahir. But it's a lot of suspense building. And then, so that's going to be 310. We know she takes down the ship, but they're all sort of split up. Then we get to the ultimatum, and we see, oh yeah, so that's where after the queen is killed, a lot of crazy stuff happens, and also the Red Lotus comes to the air temple to stop the air, to get rid of the airbenders, but really to get Korra. So then that's really, a great opportunity for Korra to decide if she's going to sacrifice herself or is she going to keep on, or is she going to sacrifice herself for the new airbenders, and how is that going to go? So who is she? So pretty good episode. Then we get to Enter the Void. Yeah, this is amazing. Zahir can now fly, which that's incredible. And then Korra sacrifices herself. Really S tier episode. This was amazing. Then we get to 13. We see that Korra, so the Red Lotus tries to poison Korra and kill her in the Avatar state so that the Avatar will never come back, and then that creates the chaos and all the problems. So that was really incredible, really sinister villains. And I'm really glad of how she fought it off. So really great season finale. That brings us to the fourth and final season. This one was also a whole lot of fun to watch. I think this one came out 2014, so this was like 8 years ago, but I was like 9, 10, 11 years old, so I was able to watch this right around the time that the episodes started coming out. So this is my lifetime sort of stuff. After all these years, so Korra is able to meet back up with Team Avatar, and it's been a while. She's still recovering from all that happened in season 3, and I think that's really that's what makes this season so great, because Korra is really struggling for the first time, and I really like that. I'll give this one an A since opening episodes aren't amazing, but it's pretty good. Then we get to episode 2, Korra Alone. Again, this is like Zuko Alone, but a few seasons later. Not the most interesting for me. We get to see all of the problems she's facing, but I wasn't in love with it, so I'll give it a B tier. Then we move on to, more Kuvira. So the coronation, so the prince never becomes the king because Korra just sort of takes over. No, Kuvira just takes over and is like, you know what, we're making an empire now. And we can see she's really actually the villain. So that was kind of fun to watch. I'll give this one an A tier. We go to episode 4, The Calling. Oh yeah, so Tenzin's kids really disagree. They're they're trying to find Korra, and I'm glad that at the end they do. But again, it's just more like finding Korra, trying to figure out what's happening. It's all just like world building before the actual stuff starts happening this season. So it'll have to be B again. Enemy at the Gate. So here, Kuvira tries to attack the Metal City and take it over, sort of make it theirs. And that's kind of sad to see that Kuvira is going to try and take over everywhere, even the place she used to work. But I think it's great character development and there's a lot of action, so I'll give it an A tier episode. Then we get to Korra fighting Kuvira in the Battle of Zaofu. That was a lot of fun to watch. It was kind of sad to see how that ended, but it's also really interesting to see that Korra really isn't on her A game yet, even though she is back. So that was sort of like one of your lowest points so that we can start coming back from that at the end here. So I'll put it into A. Then we get to Reunion back in Republic City. So she gets to see everyone. That was a lot of fun, but it was a bit of a filler episode. And we know the prince gets kidnapped, but in the end, they get him back. So it was like a little mini plot. Not the best. I'll put it into B tier. Then we get to Remembrances. So again, this one, it sort of reminds me of the Ember Island players, because they just sort of think back on everything that's happened. Not really for me. Sure, it's interesting, but it wasn't amazing. I'll put it into B. It's a filler episode. Then we get to Beyond the Wilds. That's where we get, the spirit who captures the tourists. And it's fun to see how she's able to get into the spirit world. And we know Kuvira is going to be attacking Republic City. So, and I don't think they've seen the gun yet, but I think it's really interesting just to watch that. So it's a really great setup for the end game. So we'll put that into A tier. Then we get to the final 4 episodes, Operation Beifong. That one's fun because they get the Beifongs out of prison, and Toph shows up again, which was a lot of fun, even though their family doesn't get along. Ooh, and they get to see the spirit gun. That was really amazing to see, and also it sets up a really great villain, so S tier. Now I get to 411. So Kuvira's gambit, she decides that she is going to attack Republic City. This is just a lot of build up, but it's interesting to see how it's going to go down. That'll be an A episode. Then Kuvira attacks Republic City in her mega suit. That was amazing. A lot of fun to watch. Definitely an S tier. And then, of course, we get to the absolute finale, the final episode. That's an S tier because Korra saves Kavira's life. She opens a new spirit portal, stops the bad guys. Really great ending to the series. So yeah, here's my tier list. Have some S, A, Bs, and a C to open season 2. Again, Avatar and Korra are really amazing series to watch, so it's hard to complain about these or put anything below that. Thank you so much, everyone who donated. Here's my tier list if you watched this far. Thanks again.